What's up, everyone? My name is Oneel Ballo. I'm 19 years old. Currently, I'm sitting about anywhere from 212 to 218. Keeps moving back and forth. I'm 19 years old. I'll be competing this year. Hopefully, I can do a national show. That's what we're aiming for. We haven't really decided on a show yet, specific show, but I'd say we're anywhere from 16 to 18 weeks out. That's all I can really say right now. And yeah.
How's it going, guys? I'm Renato, Pici. I'm 28 years old. I'm about 200 to 205 right now, fat in the morning. Last year I just did the Nicole Wilkins show. I did classic and bodybuilding. And this year I'm planning on doing a national show, the North Americans, in September. About 20 weeks out right now, so we'll probably be starting prep in about 4 or 5 weeks, 16, 15 weeks out.
Okay, so let's go through your workout, guys, the movements you did and what you like about each movement and stuff.
Yeah, so this is like our first arm day in I don't know how long, and he said the same thing too. So we usually do back and biceps, chest and triceps. I haven't done an arm day, like a full-on arm day, in probably anywhere from 2 to 3 years. Same thing with you, right?
Yeah, same thing with me. Usually I do chest and triceps and shoulders and biceps. For me, arms are a little bit of a stronger body part, so I don't have to dedicate a day specifically to them. But today, that's how our schedule meshed up, so we ended up doing just an arm day. And
yeah, for me, arms is not a strong point, which is why my coach just threw in a full-on arm day, which I'll be doing probably for the next 6 weeks, just to see how my body reacts to it. So I'll still be doing like back and biceps, chest and triceps, and then I'll have a separate arm day on the side. I was telling Jeff, I just did biceps 2 days ago, so I was kind of already, I wouldn't say sore, but I felt my biceps way more than I was feeling my triceps today, so that's for sure.
Yeah, and for arms, usually for me, it doesn't really matter what I do, because like I said, they're a strong point, so any exercise works for me. They all respond good to any of them. But for the workout, we started off with, for triceps, we started off with push downs, just to get some blood going in there. And then what do we move on after that, after push downs?
We did tricep push downs, and then we did the preacher curl machine, which was unexpectedly very heavy.
Yeah, it was a humbler for sure.
Yeah, it was the top of the movement. It was a lot of resistance, which I liked. I had a great pump. I don't know about you, but my arms were on fire at that first movement.
Yeah, we switched it up. We went back and forth just to get that full arm pump.
Yeah.
We did one by, one try. Typically, I'd probably just do all triceps and then biceps, but we just did it more for a pump.
Yeah. So yeah. The third movement that we did, so what was the third? Oh, overhead tricep dumbbell extensions. It's not my favorite movement to do, but it's one of those movements where it's necessary to do. It builds a lot of thickness. It's, just like the close grip bench press. There's certain movements that you might not feel, but it's just one of those movements like I just feel like my arms grow from, and that's why I keep it in there. I had Renato, I was like, hey, keep your hands on my elbows, and then kind of just tap on my tricep a little bit, and it just helps me get that better mind muscle connection. When I can feel my tricep working, I can focus on that muscle more rather than just the weights and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you need those compounds in there. Like I said, we started off with the extensions just to get the blood in there to warm it up, and then we move on to the compounds, overhead extension, like a dip or something like that, and then I think we finished off with some cables. Overhead cable, and then a standing cable as well, just to fill up with some more blood.
Exercise,
that was our third exercise for tricep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Typically, we don't have the gyms that we go to. We don't have that dip machine, so we had to take advantage. I really like that one.
Yeah, this exercise I really like because if you move the handles on the outside, you can work on the chest. Which honestly, if we had that machine, we would probably be using every chest workout. But I have been doing dips every single chest workout. So when I train chest and triceps, dips is always my last movement. It's a great finisher. It's a great compound movement. My upper body's been reacting really great to compound movements, and I don't know. I just always been scared to push heavy on upper body. Like bench press was one of my biggest fears ever. Like incline and stuff. I don't know about you guys, but the video with the guy that tears his pec, after watching that video, it was horrible. I was telling Renato, like, for 3 weeks straight, I was scared of benching heavy. But my body's reacting really great to heavyweights, and you know, I'm seeing a big difference too. So.
So you're not pre-contest yet. So what's diet like for both you guys right now?
For me, right now, it's pretty high calorie. So on my training days, I usually eat more than my off days. So on my training days right now, I'm about like close to 5,000 calories. And diet, it's a lot of simple stuff in there, like a lot of good, not junk, but like rice cakes, muffins, English muffin, bagels, a lot of peanut butter and jam. I do have some clean meals as well, chicken and rice and stuff like that. But I have a really fast metabolism, so I need like a lot of simple stuff in there.
Are you doing your own diet and everything, bud?
No. So my trainer, my coach, Jared Little, he's down in Canada right now. He lives down there. But yeah, he does my diet and my training and supplementation and everything.
Okay.
Yeah. And on my off days, it's usually, I eat a little bit less, about like 1,500 calories less on my off days, just because I'm not as active. So, and it's just kind of to give my body a rest too, because I do like a 3 on, 1 off. So after like 3 days of eating 5,000 calories, my body needs a little bit of a break. So that off day, I taper it down 1,500 calories. It really resets me for another 3 days after that.
Okay.
Yeah, and as far as for me, you know, last time when we trained with Jason, was it? When we did chest, so I knocked down my carbs from 600 to 400. So right now, currently, I'm about 400 grams of carbs, 290 to 300 grams of protein, 80 grams of fat. I keep it, so on off days, I do 300 grams of carbs, and we knock it down by 100. I've been getting bigger and leaner at the same time, which is a good thing. So, I know a lot of people, they're like, off season, you know, eat everything, eat big to get big, but it's not like, it's true, but not necessarily for everyone. You know, you have to find the right amount of calories that's putting on weight, but the good amount of weight. You know, you don't want to overdo it. And Renato saw me last off season. I was in a very much different state. I was telling Jeff, I was a pig back then. You know, I was just sloppy, and that's something I'm trying to avoid this off season. I think we did a pretty good job. You know, we got a couple weeks left, and then we start, you know, dieting, and I'm excited to see, you know, what we bring to the stage this year, because I can definitely feel like I brought up my upper body a lot, and that's something the judges were asking me for, just because I have big legs, and, you know, I have to make it all proportional, and yeah.
Yeah, he definitely stayed a lot leaner this offseason. I did see him last offseason. He got a little bit sloppy, but it's good. You want to stay a little bit leaner that way. It's easier to put on muscle. The fatter you are, the more fat you're going to put on. So the leaner you can stay, the better it is.
You don't see too many pros nowadays pulling like the old Lee Priest where
Yeah,
they used
exactly.
to blow
No,
up and
it's
stuff.
different now.
Yeah.
People don't really get sloppy anymore.
Yeah, and I think it's harder on the body and, to pull down and everything.
Hard on the body and hard on the mental too, man. I mean, my first show, I had to drop 55 pounds in 12 weeks, you know.
I was just telling Oneel too, the leaner I stay, the better, the more motivated I am. If I get too sloppy, then I'm not going to want to train. I'm not going to want to do this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I stay motivated when I'm leaner.
I mean, it's off season, like, you have to expect putting on a little bit of fat, but
yeah,
as far as going way too overboard, which a lot of people do, and, you know, I mean, actually not a lot of people do anymore, but like I said, like, you have to expect to put on a little fat. You can't stay shredded year round because you're not going to make any progress. But at the same time, you know, if you go way too overboard, you're just going to plateau yourself, and first of all, you're going to mess up your digestive system. You're going to mess up your metabolism, your insulin sensitivity, and all that is just going to literally just plateau your progress. So, like I said, you have to find a good amount of calories that works best for your body, that you're progressing with, but at the same time, it's not ruining your shape too much.
Yeah. What about cardio for both of you guys? Like when you're both off season right now.
So right now, my cardio was at 3 times a week, 20 minutes, just on the bike, high intensity. But my digestion got a little bit screwed up just because I was eating so much. So we pulled back my calories a little bit, and we upped the cardio just to get my digestion going again. And right now it's at 5 days a week, 20 minutes, and it's been helping a lot.
Yeah. How about you?
For me, I'm doing 4 days a week, 40 minutes of cardio. Nothing too crazy. I usually like the Stairmaster. I love the Stairmaster, honestly. Like, if I'm not, I don't know, I feel like if I don't do the Stairmaster, it doesn't feel like cardio for me. Just because everything else is so simple, you know. If I go on the incline, on the treadmill, I know I'm going to start holding on, and I don't see a purpose in that, you know. So, yeah, 40 minutes, 4 times a week. That's my cardio for the past probably 2 months now.
I gotcha. I guess we've gone into a few Oneel, but there's nothing wrong in case people didn't see it before. How did you both get into the sport and everything? What kind of drove you into it? What you like about it and stuff?
For me, I grew up, I was always like a really, really skinny kid. Back in high school, I used to weigh like 110. Like I was skinny as hell. I was self-conscious about taking off my shirt just because you could see my rib cage. And my brother got me into it. He used to be a monster. He used to be a big boy. He's bigger than me than I was right now. And I just saw him and I wanted to be like him, basically. So I just started lifting him for them. Ever since then, I haven't turned back.
Awesome. How about you now?
For me, honestly, I was the same way. I was actually, I have a picture. I was 106 pounds, I think. Something like that. Yeah, 2015. And you know, it was, first of all, my story, I was overweight at first, and when I started losing weight, my mental image got screwed up, and I just couldn't help but lose more weight, and I would starve myself, and it got to the point where, you know, my parents almost hospitalized me because I was becoming anorexic, you know. I'd literally drink water and go to sleep just so I don't think about food. And, you know, after that, I had some setbacks that forced me to eat, and, you know, from there, it was just going to the gym and getting bigger. And you know, at first it's like, oh, I want to put on 5 pounds of muscle, and then you do 5 pounds, and then you're like, I want to do 10 pounds of muscle, and then before you know it, you look like Big Ramy. You know? So, I mean, that's the beautiful thing about this sport. You can always improve, and you can always, there's no limit to what you can do in this sport, and that's what I like about it. Every day you walk in the gym, you can improve your numbers, you can improve your reps, you can improve your weight. There's always something you can do with this sport, and that's the beautiful thing about it.
Good deal. For both of you guys, people you'd like to thank, sponsors, friends, family?
Well, I want to start off by thanking Jeff for always giving us this opportunity, man, to show our passion and what we love to do. I want to thank my boy here, Renato. You know, he's he definitely gets on my nerves, especially during prep, man, because he always makes these douche comments about, oh, that, you know, that one time I was competing at Central States, and he's like, oh, I'm about to hop on your show, and I'm going to be eating ice cream out of the cup. I'm like, man. So after that, I'm like, yo, we're not training together. But he's honestly the hardest training partner I've ever trained with. We push each other to the max. I mean, if we're squatting, if I go first and I get 15 reps, he's going to get 16. If he goes first and gets 16, I'm getting 17. And it's just, you know, pushing each other back and forth. I want to thank my family. I want to thank my coach, Enrique. I want to thank my sponsors, Choose Fit Nutrition and NG Nutra. I appreciate all you guys, all the people in my life. You know, you guys know who you are. I always appreciate your love and support. All my people that are always sending me good vibes, good messages on Instagram. I truly, truly appreciate you guys. And yeah.
Yeah, I want to thank Jeff for having me on, first of all. And I want to thank my boy Oneel here. Hardest training partner I've ever had. I never really had anybody push me like that before. It was nice having him last prep. Just basically we prepped all the way through, and it was a nice push. And then I want to thank basically my mom,